Hello and welcome to Show of Truth, 30 Days of Truth. It's my intention to come on here not just to share with you, but also to get some of this off of my chest, off of my heart, and into the world. We all have a story. You have a story, I have a story. And our story is what carries our message beyond our life. It's what carries our energy through all time and space. Think of the stories that have passed down from generation after generation. Think of the joys that those stories have brought and also the pains that those stories have brought. So this 30 days of truth telling is also some storytelling, and the intention is to bring integrity to my life, to your life, and to the lives of all those who walk the planet. I feel the need to bring awareness to space. There's a subtle voice always speaking to you, to me, to us, in every moment. It's a voice that's subtler than our thinking mind. It whispers. It sweetly nudges us into the direction that we're meant to go. Now, if we're super fast and running a million miles an hour and distracting ourselves with all kinds of things, we can miss this voice. Meaning, the voice never misses us. It's always being shared with us, but we can make another noise louder. We can make the voice of the mind louder. We can make the voice of the TV louder. We can make the voice of our distractions from our work or thinking about other people's problems. We can make those voices louder. And there is a voice deep, deep, deep within you that whispers to you and nudges you gently every day and every moment. And so it's to that voice that I speak to. It's from that voice that I speak to you now. My voice is a voice for all life. My voice is a voice for those who wish to see what's really happening on the planet, inside, in the cosmos. A lot is happening. This life is bursting forth with opportunities. Each moment an opportunity for a new path. If you think about, for some reason this example is coming, but if you think of the example of quitting smoking cigarettes. People who smoke tobacco, usually their whole life is oriented around this medicine. The medicine of tobacco is very powerful, and a lot of people use it to help calm the nervous system. Those who smoke tobacco are addicted, but there is a benefit to smoking tobacco. The medicine of tobacco itself offers nervous system reset, cleanse, and purification. Now, what they put into all of the products that have tobacco in them is they put a lot of other stuff. I believe that if we need and want tobacco, we should be able to get it straight from the source, just pure as it is. That is an additional note, but aside from that note, and in conjunction with that note, those who smoke tobacco, or you've seen cigarettes or whatever, their whole identity is surrounded. They have a whole ritual around this medicine. And guess what? Some people quit. And when people quit, you probably watched, they have to rearrange their whole life to fit the new them that doesn't have that thing anymore in it. So for you and for me and for all people, the awakening process is not a process of adding more fancy gems onto your body and calling yourself God. That is a beautiful image of God. That is a beautiful image of the goddess. That is a beautiful image to behold, to look at. It's beautiful for the eyes. It's not the awakening process. The reason why I mention that and I emphasize that is because I see a lot of people, individuals, when they go into this space of now I'm liberated, now my sexuality is liberated and I'm free and all these things, they do it in a way that is very flashy and celebratory. And while that is a beautiful process and celebration is integral to humanity's well-being, I have noticed that a lot of those who watch these people with their fancy things can get the wrong impression. What impression might they get that's the wrong impression? They might get the impression that the fancy, shiny things are the symbol that you're awakened. There's a lot of symbology that's used in our culture. Symbolism to keep us trapped, symbolism to keep the first eye, not aware. Lots of symbology to keep us closed-minded. Lots of symbology to keep us focusing on ego and identity and not on the heart and the feelings and the reality that this body bleeds. Lots of focus on being invincible to life. I'll tell you, I'm not invincible. I could die. I get hurt. I feel a lot in these spaces of aloneness, in these spaces of deep transformation. I feel all of our hearts so intensely and intimately. So that fanciness being a distraction from who we really are is something that I'm actively in my own life working to unhook, unplug, strip down to the real naked, the real beauty. This body, your birthday suit, just as it is, without anything fancy, without any makeup, without money, without the extras, all the things, without it, is perfect. Just as it is, every single piece of it. Whether you look fancy doing it or not, it's perfect. Whether you're shitting all over yourself or not, it's perfect. So much judgment in our culture around the ways that we should be, should look, should act. I have a lot of perspective, and I don't share often. I actually spend a lot of time viewing nature in silence. And I chant and I sing a lot, and I pray to myself and I pray to life. I don't have a lot of conversations. However, I see a lot. I see a lot in this world. I see a lot of what is hidden beneath the surface. And I have too been distracted by superficiality, and I'm working, when I say unplug, it means I'm working to unplug bit by bit from the superficial. Because I know in the essence of me, I am infinite rainbows, and I can feel that and sense that and be with that on such a profound level. But in our culture, I've been distracted too. I was raised in America. I was taught to focus on identity, focus on money, focus on external validation. And so to validate myself internally has been a process. And I'll get back to the topic. We all need to validate ourselves. We can't really seek external validation, but I guarantee you that if you look all shiny and you dress all sexy and you dress the way the patriarchy wants, you will get validation from them. But are those the people you really want validation from? Or do you want validation from your own inner knowing that you're on the right path for you, your unique path? That's what I want. So I say yes to us following our unique paths, yes to us carving new ways that don't look like the mainstream hoopla. And to that, when we're in the awakening process, when one individual is in the awakening process, when you or me are in the awakening process, that looks like stripping away the old ideas of who you are. Like someone who smoked tobacco every day to not having to smoke tobacco. Their whole life pattern and rhythm and beat changes. I'm sure you've known someone who's done something consistently and then just stopped. Their whole reality changes. So for us, for you, unplugging from the matrix, unplugging from conditioning, unplugging from culture and what they say you should do, it's not always going to look like rainbows and butterflies. It's not always going to feel like rainbows and butterflies. It's going to look like absence. It's going to feel like loneliness. It's going to feel like longing. It's going to feel like there's an emptiness. The point is that you have to be with that emptiness, so much so that you no longer feel the need to fill it. That's hard. It's hard work. I'm still working on it myself. But I know for a fact that when I am full of myself, I don't have to think so much about what I should do, what I should wear. Opportunities come to me. I don't have to think about how much money I'm going to make, how not money, how I'm going to pay rent. No. When I am full of myself, my essential self, I eat when I need food. I get water when I need water. I am led to opportunities when opportunities arise. I'm present for opportunities when they arise and they offer themselves to me. And it's an ever-evolving process. So for anyone who's trying to live in community, for anyone who's trying to walk a path of higher knowing of self, because it's gonna be fucking bumpy. And I'm gonna tribute this right now to all those walking the path. Pora santienturam bagyari sensu shantara leidim bakare kuramaha. Veva zangeru shavanderitera kurama seitera kurama seitera kurama seitera. Each individual human walking this planet has their fucking perspective, has their ideas, has their opinion. And the beauty of it is that you get to create what matters to you. You matter, and therefore you get to create what matters to you. And what matters to you, as you think about it and feel into it, it will magnetize itself into your space. And that's what they mean when they say, think thoughts and create your reality, is that it's true. What you think about for a long enough amount of time, you're most likely going to take actions resonant with those thoughts, and it will bring that into your life. And it's not so straightforward because miracles are real, meaning you could think the shittiest things about yourself every fucking day of your life. And if you're meant to thrive, you might just have miracles drop into your life where all of a sudden your whole life's transformed in one moment. So don't beat yourself up for all of the things that are used in spiritual community. I'm going to try and break them all down, right? You got to do this to have this. You got to do this to have this. Do this exercise, do this technique, practice this yoga, practice this breathwork, and then you will have enlightenment. You know what I like is I like me some mint tea. I love me some enlightenment tea. I'm gonna get enlightened while I drink me some mint tea, because enlightenment is for everybody. It is for you and it is for me. It is not outside the body. Enlightenment is not some place where you go to be high and mighty and above the human race's suffering. You, as so long as you are in a human body, are connected to all other human beings in a body. And if you do not feel their pain and you do not feel their suffering, then you are disconnected. Let me say that again. If you do not feel the suffering of those around you, you are disconnected. I don't care how much money you have. I don't care how prestigious you are. I don't care how much enlightened codes of galactic DNA activation you have. If you do not have humility when you stand on the side of the road next to the struggling addict, then you best be getting on your humble self-work looking stuff. Now I say this to you because I say this to myself. Because what I say to you comes back to me 10 times stronger. So I am careful what I say. And I practice what I preach. And I want you to know that if I'm sitting here saying these things, they come reflected back to me instantly. And I do practice what I preach. And I actually have been someone on the street. And that story is for another time. So loving you, blessings to you. Sacred travelers of light and love. Until we meet, namaste to you. Which means I honor that you are another being on the path, living your life, creating your revolution, personally, collectively, and you're entitled to your own opinion, and you're entitled to your own universe, and you're creating your own universe, and I can't do jack shit about what you're creating. You get to create whatever you want to create. Because you're a creator. I personally like being a co-creator. And a co-creator means, to me, that I am aware that I am but one creator amongst many creators. And what satisfies my soul is when I create things that bring joy and beauty to everyone's lives, whether they're conscious of it or not. Because I am aware that we're all connected. And if there are people suffering, we all suffer. So, blessings in the integration that we are all one.